There was a delightful putting green in Lyle Park, quite incongruous really, because there was this little guy, well, not little, there was the guy who sat in the hut, and he used to, I think it was a sixpence, and you got about half an hour or an hour just putting balls in holes. It was different. It wasn't the kind of thing that you normally found in that area, so it was quite enjoyable.
Went to Drew Road School. We had a lot of good teachers. We had a fantastic view because on the roof was our weather station, and we looked over into the ships in the docks. We were lucky enough to be taken on the ships in the docks. Our years had a ship that we adopted, the Glen Orkney, part of the Glen Line, that we went to see there and had a cup of tea or coffee, and sometimes, you got to go around the whole ship.
There was a hairdresser's. I think there might have been a men's barber's. There was a shop that sold sort of clothes, and you could buy things on tick, as they used to say. You could pay off for them each week. There was a sweet shop and newspaper shop, Dow's. I remember that very, very well. I used to go there on a Saturday evening and get some Porter of Merry Maids, one of my favourites. And I used to get sort of some sweets from my parents and a bottle of lemonade or something. And I think there was a fish stall further along. They used to sell shellfish on a Sunday.
So we had a purpose-built library, and there was a laundrette, automatic laundrette, fish and chip shop, butchers, post office, greengrocers, newsagents, chemists. So basically all the things that you needed for your basic necessities. We did have a supermarket. It wasn't that big, but there was a branch of the Co-op in Kennard Street, and you could buy, for the time, exotic foods like spaghetti and pasta, things that you couldn't get locally.
My mum was primarily a company secretary at a firm called PR Chemicals in Silvertown. That was probably the most polluted site of all the factories and what have you in Silvertown and North Woolwich, because it was a chemical works.
The only reason I knew quite a lot about the docks because when I was 14 I started to help the milkman, and he used to go in the docks. We did all the factories in the dock, spillers and everything. So I did know what went on behind those walls, but most people wouldn't. And actually they were very exciting places for us because every factory had a canteen, and every canteen would give you something. So you'd get, I always remember they would make egg sandwiches, the most delicious things you've ever tasted. But the woman who made them, filthy hands, absolutely filthy.
Quite strange to stand, get out at City Airport, the DLR station there, and I look and think about where I'm standing now. Used to be where I was at school. They demolished the school at Drew Road to make way for the airport, and the DLR station was there. And it just feels a bit strange to be standing there. So parts of this are a little bit familiar, but it's now an airport rather than a dock. There's no school there. So it does feel strange.